Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Rare Book Cafe, the coffee break show. Our new format, a little bit shorter, a little bit tighter, but all the same guests that you're used to hearing and all of the interesting information that we can share in the book ecosphere. Well, it is the coffee break edition, and as my guest host Linn has pointed out, maybe I've had a little bit too much coffee and I'm a little bit too wired. How about you, Linn? What are you sipping down today?
Well, actually, it's Coke Zero, but, you know, I thought the cup, it's still got caffeine.
Still got caffeine. And our guest this week is the wonderful, the magnificent, the paper plaster, the queen of ephemera, Barbara Loe. Hi, Barbara. Just back from the ephemera show in London and gonna tell us all about it.
Well, it was a great show. It was couple of weeks after the coronation, so we didn't have to deal with all that traffic. But it was exciting to see everybody again and to engage with people. And one of the things I love about...
Were you a buyer or a seller or both?
Both.
Weird.
So I'm a dealer, and I have a booth there, and I sell stuff. And I also look for things to buy that are unique that I can't find here in the U.S. And so I always get excited when I find new material to add to my stock that every other dealer doesn't have in their stand.
Well, why don't you share a few of those things with us?
Okay, well, I found some really neat stuff this time. This is a tapestry menu by Alphonse Mucha. And let's see if I can get far enough away that you can really see the whole thing. But I just thought it was lovely. And what the person would have done would have been to put all the different items from the menu on there. Obviously, this one was never used. But I just thought that was a lovely piece.
Barbara, would that have been used in someone's home or in a restaurant?
Oh, no, it would have been in someone's home.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, at this period of time, I don't think there were many restaurants. But this was definitely, and you can see the tapestry stitching on the back. So, yeah, and this is silk. So, but obviously, this would have been like a Downton Abbey kind of a thing. This wouldn't have been my house, for sure.
Yeah.
And then I found this lovely item, and this is a procession going into St. Paul's Cathedral. And I'm not 100% sure what it was for. I still have to research it because the date is on there. But I just thought the detail, can you see the detail? Was just incredible. And then, I always loved Bartolozzi.
Excuse me, Barbara, what was the date on that last piece? February 28th, 1858?
No, 78.
1870. All right, let me see if I can Google that while you're talking.
Oh, wait a
see if
minute.
anything famous happened on that day.
I think it's 72. And then this is an invitation to a special dinner at the Mansion House. And I just love that early engraving and what they did with that printing. This is actually a hand-done Valentine that I thought was just really spectacular. And the message is in the center, and it says, "My constant and," I'm at that point where I need my glasses. "My comfort and my joy, constant and true to thee." And you can see the message in the center. And I just thought that the workmanship on that was incredible. On a different level, and for regular viewers, I do Valentine's. But this is a Penny Dreadful type of Valentine. And the message on this one is, a miser you are, indeed in grain. Your dreams are of nothing else but gain. Who'd marry you? Not I, I'm sure. A skinflint like you, I could never endure. And there he is repairing his pants. And it's unusual to see a black and white one like that. Usually they were colored, and this is earlier. So I thought that was interesting. Then, well, it was coronation time. So while I was there, I found a ticket for Charles and Diana's royal wedding.
Ooh la la.
Yeah. And then I found this piece for George and Mary when they were for their coronation. And this was to witness the coronation procession, June 26, 1902. And I'm not exactly sure where you got to go to witness it with this ticket, but we assume it was someplace better than just being on the Mall, which is how they say it. They don't say mall like we do, they say Mall. One of the things that I think is interesting about London that a lot of people don't know is that they had these things called frost fairs. You know, the phenomenon of global warming has been around for a very long time. And the Thames used to freeze over in the winter. And when it did, they would have what they called frost fairs. And they would go out, and the dealers and vendors would set up on the ice. And this type of thing, they would actually set up printing presses on the ice and print these things while they were there in the fair. And I think they're very interesting. Here's another piece that I got. And I particularly like this one because you can see that the ice is starting to melt and the people are falling in. And that so reminds me of Minnesota, which is where I used to live. And, you know, we would always have the people go out with their ice houses on the ice to go fishing in the winter. If you ever saw the movie with Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon about that, you know, you could see them out there ice fishing. And in Minnesota, the way we knew spring was coming was when the first truck or car fell into the lake because of the ice melt. And so when I saw this, I said, yeah, I have to have this piece because, you know, that is just, that's the world I came from.
Well, you know, I have a very good friend in Minnesota. In a couple of years, he's had me participate in the annual thaw lottery, and you pick a date when you think the truck is going to go through the ice and put in $5, and whoever's closest to the date that the truck goes down wins the pool.
Yeah. It is a very Minnesota thing.
For sure. For sure.
What's fascinating is it was also a London thing.
As they say in Minnesota, you betcha.
Oh, no, you got to get the whole thing. Yeah, you betcha.
Yeah, you betcha.
And then this is a nice thing. This is a souvenir from a banquet. And it's got, you know, it lists what the programs were and what was happening. And you've got grace at the beginning, and so that you could follow along with what was happening. And so that was a nice piece. You know, you find all kinds of things. Here's some handmade paper dolls that, you know, not terribly expensive, but nice because they're unusual. This is a little rocking horse that when you set it up, it will sit on the counter and it will rock back and forth. and a great child's toy. Most of the Valentines that I do are early from, before the 20th century. But I picked up this Art Deco, Art Nouveau one, which I just thought was cute and, a little bit different. And then I'm going to finish with, I have a lot more Valentines I could show you, but I don't know if you guys would get all excited about them like I do. But then I have an interesting piece that I do not understand, and I'm going to have to research. It's a large print, so I'm going to back up. Can you see it? Let's see. Okay, so if you look at the illustration, it clearly looks like slaves working in the area, and there's an overseer with a whip. But the fascinating thing is, it's dated 1888. And I don't understand that, because obviously that's way after the Civil War. And it talks about this family, and it says they're still colored descendants of the Gladstone family in this town, whatever it is, and they are still enslaved. And so I want to research this. I don't even know if it's the U.S. It was printed in England, but it's fascinating because it certainly looks like it's the U.S. But I want to find out what the heck is the story there, because that's 20 years after the Civil War, and so you run into things that require research when you get back.
That's a great thing about our profession, our hobby, is doing the research and educating ourselves and connecting the dots, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I'm not real sure, but there were, English plantations, say in Jamaica, that had.
And that could well be what it is.
That could be. And while I think the slave trade had been abolished, I'm not sure that, of the date of when personal slavery was abolished, as far as that, as far as English or Jamaican or whatever. I don't know enough about it, but like you said, that would be an interesting piece for some research.
Yeah, because it looked like American clothing, it looked like an American type scene, but the timing is completely wrong.
Right.
So, but your suggestion about Jamaica is a good one. It might be there.
Did you find, Alan, Ed, did you find anything on that date? On the procession?
Oh, the procession?
Yeah. Ed? Did we lose
Maybe we
Ed?
lost him again.
I think we lost him again. Anyway.
But, some of the other things that I found were just, some invitations. I love this. These people just want to have a good time. Their invitation says, let's see, it says, the cat's away, the mice will play. So it's an invitation to a party. Don't know if this is the equivalent of the kids having a party while mom and dad are out of town, or what?
Well, Lee, in answer to your question, there is a town in England called Hawarden. I noticed Hawarden on the piece.
Oh.
So there's you've got something to work with there.
I'm going to do the research, yeah.
Let us know, please.
Yeah, here's a little ticket. What was fascinating about this is the train and the ship, and that, the both so clearly visible. You just find, that's what I love about ephemera. You find little pieces of paper that have stories, and if you can figure out what the story is, you've got documentation of everyday events that you didn't know about. So. those
And I'm
are
also
some of-
curious about that February 28th, 1870.
Well, I'm not sure I gave you the exact right year, but I'm going to research that, and maybe I'll get back to you guys later and
Please
say,
do.
We
No
found
maybe
out what
about
this
it.
was.
No maybe about it. We want you on the show again, Barbara.
okay, well, thanks a lot. Good to see everybody, and hopefully it won't be a whole other year.
Maybe not. We'll look forward to having you again.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Barbara. Always a pleasure having you on the show. We look forward to having you back again soon because you've got some unanswered questions for us. All right, folks, I think that wraps it up for another edition of the Rare Book Cafe Coffee Break Edition. Lee, any words of wisdom to close us out on?
Just to remind people to subscribe so that you'll know when a new edition is coming on, and make comments about what you liked, what you didn't like. If we
And we've recently signed up for Instagram. We've got 3 followers, but we're shooting for the moon.
Hey, we're making progress there. So we'll look forward to seeing you again soon, and seeing Barbara again soon.
All right, everybody, pick up a good big book. Pick up a good book. Lay down in the hammock and enjoy your summer reading. Thanks again from the Rare Book Cafe. Over and out.